Against the grand backdrop of Oregon's natural landscapes are some pretty powerful human stories that are often found in very small, quiet places. Hi there, I'm Grant McComey, your host for Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways. And you know, those human stories can resonate with each of us if we take the time to explore them. So it is this week as we visit John Day country in distant Grant County, where a time capsule of sorts waits for your exploration. So join us as we visit the Chung Museum and State Park. There is a timeless feeling to some places in Oregon's high desert. Not just the landscape, but with imagination, you'll also find it on back roads or neighborhood streets where life passes by as it did a century ago.
Chinatown was all around us. The laundries were all along here, and then over in the corner was a brothel and a bar. And then we have Chung here.
Chung, or golden flower of prosperity.
Welcome to Chung. It's going to be a little bit dark, so we'll wait just a second for your eyes to adjust.
What comes into clear view inside this tiny, dim-lit shop was a big business that once flourished on the western frontier. The year is 1887. Two young immigrants, Ing He and Lung On, bought the Chung.
They had baking powder, flour, sugar, rice, beans. Anything that you needed here usually came right through the general store.
They would run it as a general store and herbal medicine shop at a time when 2,000 Chinese laborers worked in the region. Chung became the social center of their American home.
This was a bachelor society. Hardly any Chinese women were out here. 2,000 Chinese, we know of 3 women. This is where you could come. You could find a job. Lung On served as a labor contractor. You could have letters written home. A lot of the miners were illiterate. You could come gamble, smoke, drink, just, have a nice relaxing time.
You could also find a cure for what ailed you from an assortment of herbs and exotics, perhaps using turtle shell or bat wings or a lizard.
You could flake that off into your herbal medicine if you needed it for a certain something. He would grind this up. He would add some more herbs.
Remarkable cures that worked. Doc Hay became the most famous herbal medicine doctor between Seattle and San Francisco. He served both Chinese and white communities. More remarkable, the shop was locked up for 20 years, and when it reopened in 1969, perfectly preserved artifacts were revealed.
If you look at the Del Monte can, it really hasn't changed in the way of advertising at all.
From Wheaties, the breakfast of champions, to marshmallows sealed in a can. The stone and brick structure protected the building's contents from blistering heat or frigid cold.
John Day is a very dry climate, and so we don't have the humidity. That really preserved a lot of things. Also, the low light. When the lights are turned off in here, there's basically no light.
Christy Sweet, Oregon State Park's curator, says we know much about the place from the records.
Looks as though it was written yesterday.
It does.
You see, the two men kept everything. 20,000 sheets of letters, accounts, and correspondence.
Kind of a snapshot of the history of the Chinese in Oregon. The letters and the records go everywhere, so we kind of learning about the Chinese in John Day, what they did here, and also what happened in the community and the Chinese in different areas of the state.
Other storage boxes reveal that the two men had a savvy business side as well.
Lung On was known for bootlegging during Prohibition. And when the building was kind of rediscovered, they found 96 bottles of this underneath his floorboards. And
what is it?
This
it's
is
whiskey.
Yep.
Oh my goodness!
So we know that this was it's a private stash, perhaps the stash for the.
Could this be part of their popularity?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you make of that?
I think it's a great story. I think it shows their personalities. They're going to flaunt the law a little bit and keep their whiskey.
That's a good story.
And like everything else in this wonderful state park time capsule, all of it is perfectly preserved. Like the story of the unusual men who ran a business that became a legend.
These guys changed the community. They made the community what it is today. Initially they were much the outsiders and really became part of the community, accepted, and helped helped to settle this area. They were well loved, and I think it's a part of history that John Day has embraced. This is part of their heritage and they want to celebrate it, and this is we preserve it through here at Chung.
The Chung Museum is a cherished piece of Oregon history that you'll enjoy visiting, and we've provided all the details and the directions on the Travel Oregon website. And while you're there, be sure to check out the latest travel contest. It's called the Oregon Adventurecation. You can enter for a chance to win one of 3 all-inclusive trips to play golf, cycle wine country, or mix it up with rafting, hiking, or rock climbing, and even some skiing. There are more details right here on the Travel Oregon website. So until next week, get out here and explore Oregon, perhaps discover new rich history for you and the family, and let Travel Oregon be your guide. For Travel Oregon, I'm Grant McComie.